Inspired by Ambition gear at inspiredbyambitionpro.com. That's www.inspiredbyambitionpro.com.
Welcome to the Purple Pill Podcast. I'm your host, Robert. I'm with my co-host, Darren in LA. This is episode 10, and let's just talk about cancel culture. Darren, what do you got to say about cancel culture this week?
All right, what's good, two shoes? Y'all can hear me good?
What's up? Yeah.
All right, so we know that cancel culture is something that's been happening for the most part the past, I would say, pretty much really started picking up steam with what was the women's movement, the Me Too movement. All right, Harvey Weinstein and other stuff like that, which is cool. If you actually do the crime, you got to be out the culture. You got to be out, right? You got to, no matter what, you got to serve your time. No matter what, you got to do what you got to do. But if you didn't do it and you're still, what I want to talk about more so is when it's just an allegation, when it's not proven, but it's out there to the public. Because one thing, I guess, in America, you know, the media is the fourth state or something like that, fourth something in this country. But sometimes they'll paint you as a villain before they'll actually go by the narrative that, well, let's see everything play out. Let's see the narratives. Let's see, because you're technically supposed to be proven, and you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But with media, especially social media and such, we're so quick to say you're guilty before you're innocent.
But why do people say you're guilty? Is it not because we can imagine you saying that shit? Like if somebody came up to me and said, Mike Tyson came to my birthday party and knocked everybody out, I believe that shit. Until he was proven innocent.
I can't. First things first, if somebody said that to me, I need to know, how did Mike Tyson end up at your party? And why is he knocking everybody out? There has to be a reason.
Mike.
There has to be a reason.
It was Money Mike.
Man, you can't just.
Well, no, I feel what you're saying, though.
I feel like that's something that we've been doing a lot in society, where we just say, we automatically just go to, well, you know.
Until you beat the case, you know, I can't really rock with you. That's just how it is, right?
I don't know, man. I feel like it's more so keeping it, but I don't believe in just somebody else coming out of nowhere just saying that they're
okay.
You did it. You feel
but
me?
Like, if it's not because I don't want to get into any type of sexual allegations or anything like that.
I'm talking about anything in general.
But like, let's go down to the most fundamental level of it, right? Let's say you stole my bike.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now we got to go through figuring out what the bike is, where was it last, when was I seen with it, and what basis you got to say I stole it, and you ain't just give it to me, right? That's how it should work.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me how it doesn't work that way?
Well, the thing is that, let's say in that same scenario, let's say if you went to social media and say, yo, this person stole my bike, right? But
would you not respond on social media with what color is the bike?
You shouldn't even have to. Nobody should even have to. Like, if somebody says something to you about you on social media, you shouldn't have to like defend yourself all the time. That's a job. That's a job in itself. If you become a mainstream person, that becomes a job in itself, trying to defend yourself. At some point, you just gotta say, look, man, I can't fight everybody's lies. You can't. It's
not even you, as like the person being said that the thing is that you did the thing, right?
Yeah.
As a bystander, let's say someone said LA stole my bike, and you was on Twitter like, damn, that sounds like some shit LA would do. Or would you be like, did he really do that? Like, what is the natural?
Okay,
what
so
do people
if I'm
naturally
cool with you, I'm asking you straight up. It's not a. I don't gotta. There's not no games. Like, even if
so you wouldn't just be in my corner. Nah, he didn't do that shit.
I
Yeah, you
can't.
fucked
I don't.
up.
I don't know if you did it or if you didn't. I would say that don't sound like him. Easily, that don't sound like him.
My bad.
But at the same time, let me go in and check with him.
I feel like naturally humans are suspicious, or like I don't know the word I want to use, but
Paranoid.
there you go.
So,
Until proven
Darren,
innocent.
I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
but the thing about what you're saying, and I'm gonna get, I think I'm gonna go with L.A. here. Yes, it's true. You're innocent until
Shit.
proven guilty in the court of law, not in the court of public opinion.
No.
People can have whatever opinion they want. They can believe whatever the fuck they want. My example would be Trayvon Martin. I think every single black person in the world thought and still thinks Zimmerman did that shit and he got off for it.
Yeah, because he did.
By the court of law, he's innocent.
But okay, then now look, that's a whole different rabbit hole because now we're talking about the stand your ground law, and then we're talking about who actually makes the laws.
No, that's changing the subject. I'm just
Yeah,
specifically
that's what I'm
talking about cancel culture and how that relates to our American government.
Should he not have been canceled,
Who?
Zimmerman?
He is canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people want.
Yeah, but he was canceled as soon as we saw as soon as we got the evidence as a community, as a people, when it got put out online. Because if you remember the George Zimmerman case, he didn't get arrested right away. He got arrested like a month later because social media got a hold of it and was like, yo, what's going on with this shit?
Yeah, man.
But basically my point is the court of public opinion is they're going to have their opinion as soon as the case comes out, no matter what. Because if let's say I give you an example, let's say Drake gets a sexual assault charge and it becomes national news, also like Kobe Bryant shit.
Don't. Yeah, let's not. Say
No, knock on wood.
Let's not say specific people.
Heartbreak Drake.
Yeah,
We never gonna meet Drake. All right,
in
so
general, let's not say specific people.
Drake never gonna get no sexual assault charge. He loves strippers.
In general.
Women love Drake. So let's say Drake gets a sexual assault charge, right?
Yeah.
The first thing I'm gonna think, Drake didn't have no sexual assault with nobody. He's Drake. Drake can have whatever blah 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 he wants. Blah 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 blah. Some feminist women might immediately come out and say, we stand with victims. Drake's guilty. Guess what? None of that shit technically matters. Why? Because it's not the court of law. What really is going to happen is the court of law. He probably wasn't the best example because he's Canadian, but you see what I'm saying. You still got to go to the only thing that matters is the court of law. No matter what the public thinks, no matter if the public's right or wrong, what do you think you're right or wrong? That's all that matters. So the cancel culture, that's what I'm saying. Cancel culture doesn't matter.
That's bullshit because when people get off with the crime, people still look at them. Look, O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson got off with murder.
Zimmerman.
I'm talking about O.J. We're talking about O.J. He got off with murder, but it didn't change our opinion of him. No, it really didn't. We just see because listen to this, because Americans love the bad guy who gets off. We like from what's the face? Who's the John Dillinger and those like the old outlaws who was first I don't know, Bonnie and Clyde. We fell in love with those stories, but look at them now. We glamorize those people. We glamorize Bonnie and Clyde. That's not something to glamorize. People are like two people going on a crime spree in love. That's not something to like really glamorize. But we do it as Americans. We do the same thing with OJ to a certain extent, bro. Like you beat the case, congratulations. It's not you the murderer, stay away from me. He's seen publicly partying in Miami and Vegas after that. So I don't get it.
I feel like he won.
So
exactly.
if you look at how black people looked at O.J. Simpson back in the 90s during the case, and you look at black people how they look at O.J. Simpson now, it's completely different. The perception is completely
American people though. I'm talking about
black people are American.
I'm talking about just in general American people.
But here's the thing, Darren. White people back in the day thought he did it.
Yeah.
And they were rooting against him. Black people back in the day, they didn't think he did it.
And what happened when he beat the case? How did everybody start looking at him? You beat
as guilty.
You beat the case. Cool. Great. Even if you are guilty, you beat the case. There's nothing that you got to worry about.
Yeah, no double jeopardy.
Yeah, there's no double jeopardy.
You're out.
We still see him as, look, you're the one who stuck it to the American government, even though we
Stuck it to the American
allegedly
government.
you did it. You did it. You look in my fault. LA's police. LA's corrupt police force. He beat. That's what it was all about. Because the Rodney King thing had happened like a year before, and then OJ was like the next thing that happened. Now it was like, no, y'all trying to plant this on OJ. He didn't beat that. He didn't do that. That's what all the black people are saying. And then you look at the evidence. It's like, no, he probably did it, but the jury got him off because he's a idol.
He was an icon. That nigga was running. What you mean?
You know,
So here's my question. Here's my question, you Dane. Is cancel culture only bad if the person is innocent?
Yeah. Well, it's not only, but the thing is, that's just one part of it, right? I think to answer your question, yes, I think it's bad if the person is innocent, right?
But you don't know they're innocent until the case happens. That's my point.
That's the whole point. Then why are people judging it? Then it's not.
I mean,
we don't know.
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. They can do whatever they want. Once again, it's freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. As simple as that. You can say whatever the fuck you want on Twitter.
They might lose.
If you don't want to,
they might not get streams, but
yep.
that comes with the territory.
If I don't want to stream Drake anymore, if I want to go on Twitter and say, hey, I don't want to support Drake anymore until this case is over, or I don't want to support Drake anymore no matter what, you can do that.
Look, every case is different, right? There's all different types of cancel culture in general. Like, for example, when R. Kelly was going through his shit for the second time most recently, people canceled him before that because they absolutely knew it was possible. They knew it was possible because it happened multiple times.
Well, in that specific example, people canceled R. Kelly, like they took him off Spotify or things like that, because they didn't want to be involved with what was going on during the case. That was a serious legal litigation.
I agree with that. I agree with the actual business, like the businesses taking them off.
I would not want to do that.
I get that. I completely agree with that. I'm talking about everybody that just has a fight in it all of a sudden. It's not your fight. I'm not like, you never met R. Kelly. It's not. I understand. If you wanted to say put the monster away, cool. Put the monster away. If he did it, which is he did it clearly because he's in jail right now.
I'm gonna slow you down real quick. Question. I'm gonna ask you a question.
You know.
Why isn't it their fight?
That's their man. They want to talk, they can talk.
Especially like I feel like feminists in general. I feel like this is literally what they fight for. This is literally what they're fighting for. So I don't know what you mean by this is not your fight.
If it doesn't happen to you, right? You're influencing the case from the outside because of the media. Right? You can do that. You can influence the case because you can influence the jury through social media, right?
Okay. I'll see where you're going.
I'm saying simply like that. Don't get me wrong. That is a bizarre way of looking at it. But at the same way, if, for example, if you go into the case, if you got called in for that jury case in Chicago or something, and you got to go in, and you know everything that you've been reading on Twitter before, and they're asking you all the questions before, like screening you to make sure you don't have no dog in the race or nothing like that. You just want to make sure.
I'm on the jury. I'm on trial.
I'm talking about jury. If you're on the jury,
I don't think you're even allowed to do that shit. I don't think you're even allowed to be on social media like that.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be on.
I'm talking about before it even happens. Before he got put in jail, it hit.
From small to triple XL, all inspired by Ambition gear at inspiredbyambitionpro.com. That's www.inspiredbyambitionpro.com.
All right, welcome back to the Purple Pill Podcast. Sorry for the technical issues. Darren, what were you saying about cancel culture?
I lost my train of thought exactly where I was at. But
So here's my
in
thing.
general,
Then here's my thing with the whole cancel culture and rape thing. This might be a little bit of a tangent,
Whoa.
but we can't trust these white women.
Oh yeah, this is really trippy.
White women lie on black men all the time about rape.
Wait a minute.
Have you read the book To Kill a Mockingbird? Have you heard about Emmett
You
Till?
lost me, Chief.
Yeah,
I'm not doing this one.
yeah. I look.
If we're
I
talking
didn't want
about
to get specific. at
those
all.
two specific historical topics, I'm with you.
Look,
In generalities, I'm not having that conversation.
yeah, not in general.
Not in this format.
Not in general.
Not my guy.
No.
Because I don't been on both sides of the sword. And,
It's double edged. Let's just say that.
you know,
Nah, bro. Nah.
I can't be on
How's that a double-edged sword?
But to talk
Nah,
about
it's
cancel
always
culture with that, I feel for people who are accused of such things and it's false, and those who actually do experience these things and they're silent about it because of people who are falsely doing it. I believe that to be wrong. I do believe that to be
I
wrong.
agree.
That is where I stand.
Darren, I have a question
I feel
for
like-
you.
What's up?
This is kind of rhetorical, but is the American government perfect? Is our judicial system perfect?
I don't think there's one American that would say yes.
Okay. Yes, and we agree because there's been multiple cases in the past where we find out that we were wrong multiple years later, correct?
Especially nowadays.
But here's the real question. Is it good enough? Not speaking about race, just like the way it's set up right now, our judicial system. Is it good enough? Or do we need to make changes to it?
You can't talk about one branch of government without the other branches.
Why?
Because they're all connected. It's supposed to be a checks and balances.
So what is
the
the
judicial system? The judicial system enforces the law. The executive and the legislative, I believe, are the ones who actually write the law and pass it. So it can't just be.
Oh, I can't hear you.
what?
There you go. You back.
You hear me?
Yep.
But yeah, man, you can't talk about
Why can't you?
one. You could, because if one is off, the other.
Why?
one's
Because
off.
why does Joe Biden have anything to do with a rape case that happened yesterday?
You gotta stop using this word.
Sorry, why does Joe Biden have to do with somebody's? I don't know. We're talking about rape,
No, we're not. We're talking about canceling in general.
and the
If
cancel
somebody
culture usually
says-
has to do with rape. Because remember you
No,
mentioned
it
the
doesn't.
Me Too movement.
That's one example of it. That's one example of it. There's other ones.
I brought up Zimmerman and what's his name?
Yeah, but I can't think of another one on top.
Is that perfect? No. But we have so many laws that are intertwined with other laws, and then someone's got to make a decision, right? Not everyone's going to be happy.
Sure.
Like if somebody kicked my door down and decided they wanted to be on heroin, and I shot him twice in the leg, and he made it outside and bled out, do you think I would win that case?
I think you would. I'm pretty sure you only lose that case. Let's say he broke into your house, he stole some shit, and started sprinting off, and got on your porch or something. And you saw he was leaving, and you shot him in his back or something. I think you will get in trouble then in Ohio, because I don't think you're allowed to shoot somebody who's running away. I think you're only allowed to defend yourself. Like if he's attacking you or attacking your family, I think you're allowed to defend yourself. But if he's trying to leave, I think you can only probably maybe chase him down and probably pin him down. But I don't think you can kill him.
That's how they got Zimmerman. That's how Zimmerman got off.
Now, if I go to court with that and I tell you, bro, I got 14 years for that, what you gonna tell me?
Shit. I know. I don't got no power. That's tough, bro.
Exactly. Like, it's not perfect. Shit happens.
It's just not perfect. But at the end of the day, I think you can't. To wrap it up, I don't think we're not making it better.
Who's
We're
we?
not making it better. I'm talking about cancel culture. I think in general, to speak to other stuff with cancel culture really quick, One dude recently, a basketball player from Miami Heat, said something.
Miles Leonard.
A slur against. Yeah, he said a slur versus Jews. And it was one of those like, I personally didn't even know that word was that.
Really?
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I've heard it before.
Obviously, yeah, but to
What was
me,
this?
he said a word on a live stream while he was like twitching, like he was on Twitch or something,
Okay.
and they just got it, and he said it at somebody. But here's the thing about that: people are so quick. Instead of educating them to say, "Bro, you can't say that," like, or giving him redemption, like the American government or American system is supposed to. Even if you go to jail, you're supposed to come out. What's the rehabilitation?
I disagree with you strongly.
Yeah.
That's not their job to educate him on what's right and wrong.
But I'm talking about cancel. Look, here's the three things that you could do right now. You can cancel them. You can say you can support him and be on his side for whatever reason. I don't know what reason. Or you could be like, look, that's not right. I could tell you that's not right, and let you know, like, look, if what you want to do after that, you can educate them. Or you could be a person that's just far away from the situation.
All right, so here's my question, Derek.
Wait. No. Here's the thing. With those four things, though, most of those are wrong. Most of those. The educating is probably the best scenario. Staying away from it is how we're going to continue to stay segregated in the country and mindset. Saying he was wrong and just being a person that just cancels them, that's okay, that's cool too. But you're not helping the situation by educating anybody on what's wrong and what's right. You're just saying your opinion, which is cool, but it's not helping the situation. I'm just saying most of those aren't helping the situation.
I honestly think at the end of the day, as not being a Jewish man or having any type of Jewish heritage, I don't think I should have any opinion on that whatsoever. I think that should be left up to like the people of the Jewish culture. I think maybe he should maybe he might be able to lose his job just because that's just inappropriate. But that's up to the people of the Jewish culture to make that decision.
Okay, but if they do find out that it's offensive to
it is. It's historically offensive.
Okay. But then what do you do as a black man?
I don't do nothing. I can't do anything. What am I going to do? Tweet about it?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
You can do exactly what I did in the situation. I didn't know it was a bad word towards Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
I found out. I would never use the word first off because I don't usually use words that are like that. So
your video went back up, but just to let you know.
It's crazy. I don't know what's going on. My laptop's literally a foot from him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or on the same Wi-Fi.
Darren might just have a shit
I
laptop.
don't know. I got a MacBook.
let's just keep going.
I'll just use the other shot for your shot.
Okay, let's keep going. Yeah,
So here's my thing, Darren.
I had a comment.
So there's the biggest YouTuber on the internet. The biggest YouTuber on YouTube is named PewDiePie. You know who that is?
I know from South Park.
Okay. So PewDiePie is the biggest YouTuber on the internet. What he does is he plays video games online. He does like Let's Plays and shit like that. Probably like a couple of years back, he got caught. He was playing Call of Duty or whatever, and somebody like killed him. And he was like, "You were playing like a fucking nigger," exactly like that. He never got canceled. He still has the most subs on YouTube.
what does that have to do with the scenario?
It's a racial slur. It's a slur.
Yeah, so-
They're both slurs. It's the exact same scenario. So what happened to PewDiePie? He ended up apologizing later, and he never got canceled. Should he have been canceled for that? Whose decision is it to make to be canceled? Is it the individuals or is it the groups? Because I think it should be the individual. Every individual should choose what they want to do, if they want to support that person or not. There's still like a ton of people that support PewDiePie after he said that.
I just said that. I said you have 4 cases. You can do what you want in any of those 4, right?
But as a black man, I'm choosing not to support him. And that's my decision. And that's all I'm saying. It's a person-to-person
But look,
basis.
I didn't say there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
The problem is that when you go to social media and you log in like 15 tweets when you don't tweet most of the time about this man, like about that one.
So here's my question.
That's weird to me. That
So
you don't talk about anything else, but you talk about this one scenario.
So here's my question, there.
People that don't log in for years will just go in and just say some shit like that.
So about the whole Jewish thing, the Jewish slur thing. Fuck, you made me forget what I was about to say. I was going to ask you a whole question.
Let's get to the next topic.
All right.
So, Ella, you got something?
All I wanted to say about that last topic was,
Come on.
like if somebody was on whatever streaming service doing whatever they have to do, they drop some crazy words like that. You know, if you don't want to listen to that, don't listen to it. Just like if you don't want to listen to rap music, don't listen to rap music. Just change the channel.
Yeah.
Now, for somebody to lose their job, I fully understand that. If I were at tech support and I yelled on the phone, "You're acting like a fucking nigger," I'm losing my job.
Yeah. You should.
How's that any different than him streaming at his job?
The only difference is
that's
he's his
for his-
own boss.
He wasn't at work.
He was at work. That's his. That's how he makes money. That's his living. That's his job.
He's a
You can't
basketball
be
player.
your own
We're talking about
boss
basketball player.
if you're using someone's streaming platform. If you're being managed by a team of people, you're not your own boss.
Yes, you are.
You're being
It's a partnership.
okay. Well, then, if that management company drops you, if that streaming service bans you, how are you going to be your own boss?
You
now?
could go to another streaming service.
Yeah.
When you've been canceled and banned for inappropriate and slurring
Yeah,
words.
because you haven't done it on that other streaming service yet.
I feel like that's not how
You can get blackballed.
these things
You can get
work.
blackballed. And
But
Like,
think about it.
he's
Once
a
again,
NBA
he's
player,
the biggest YouTuber on YouTube and still is right now.
Talking about that.
You are. You are.
So
He's absolutely right.
Oh, so my question was about the whole cancel culture thing. Do you think it matters at all that that what he did was not illegal?
I mean,
Freedom of speech. He was doing it on
words?
his Twitch page.
Words are words. You
You
just
talking
can't
about
be crazy about it.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, if
Because when somebody pull up on you, then what?
The crazy part is somebody called him. They called him immediately, like his management team and shit. They called him immediately. He shut down the stream within like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, because they knew he was about to get canceled or something. They had to do the groundwork.
Think about
to
this,
undo
though.
it.
Guess who owns the Miami Heat?
a Jewish person, Patrick Mike.
They're Jewish.
Fantastic.
I don't know if Pat Riley's Jewish, but the owners of the Miami Heat, they're
Put your
Jewish.
Put your
commissioner
foot in
of
your
the
mouth.
NBA is Jewish. The commissioner is Jewish.
And you could have just been cool. You could have said literally any other word.
I don't get why.
He probably been better if he said the N word, honestly.
You could have said any other word.
Here's the thing: we all get hyped up about video games and basketball games when we play.
White people are different.
I understand.
White people are different.
I get it. Look,
White people are the most
I don't wanna
racist
say that,
people
but it's the truth.
on video games I've ever met, like ever. Being on Xbox Live back in
You
like
gotta
the
do your
day,
job.
bro, they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
You gotta do your job.
but at the end of the day, I'm just talking about we all get hyped up about it. For you to get so hyped up that you gotta offend somebody like that, you got a problem. You got a problem with the game. Like you need to take some time away from that video game.
Is it mass or like professional gaming or whatever you call it? Isn't that stuff toxic? Like I go upstairs and I hear the kids saying foul shit. I'm like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. I mean,
But you got to think. You're back at least back when I was playing video games, when you're like 14, 15, like in high school playing video games. These white kids, this is probably the most freedom they probably ever had, where they can say literally whatever they want and not get any. There's no consequences for it.
this goes back to the cowardly stuff that I was talking about last week.
Oh, they would never say that shit to your
Hiding.
face.
You hiding behind your Twitter fingers or you hiding behind a microphone. That's still bullshit. If people can see you one on one and
You keep that same
can't
energy?
see you
Okay,
one-
cool. I respect
keep
that.
it. Like exactly, just keep it because and that's the thing. I think most important. Like if 6ix9ine, for example, was talking crazy shit, which is he talks crazy shit, it's besides the fact that you snitched, you came out of jail still talking crazy shit, for example. But now you got security. If you would have just one or the other, like if you like would have snitched, I'm sure people would have still tried to test you. But the fact that you snitched and you still talking crazy is where it's like, bro, now you throwing a rock and hiding your hand, or not even hiding your hand, dancing behind like security. You just dancing as you throw rocks, and that's weird.
You saw those people from Chicago said they're on a kill him because he was talking shit about Dirk after Dirk passed.
Yeah, like I
Who
said,
passed?
Lil Durk. I think that was his name.
No, he didn't.
No, it was
I'm gonna
Von.
say
It was
no.
King Von. I'm tripping.
I was about to say no.
It was King Von.
Don't say that
It was
shit.
King Von.
That's fair.
Yeah.
He clout chasing, man. He's trying to get famous again.
But here's my thing about 6ix9ine. It worked. Whatever you say, whatever the consequences were,
It did work.
like even like the whole consequences with going to jail and shit. What he set out to do was get on by trolling. It worked.
It did.
The problem is, it's
Now
not
you
6ix9ine's going to
had
be
a
the problem.
federal case
It's going to be
in
the
which-
next 6ix9ine. Steph Curry is a problem in the
Take him
NBA.
out.
The real problem is going to be the second Steph Curry. The next one up that is going to follow the exact same game plan. They're going to get on by talking shit to a bunch of gangsters. We're going to be like, damn, this is the new 6ix9ine, and something's going to happen. That's the person who's going to get killed. Not 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine has security. 6ix9ine has literally the American government protecting him. This nigga's literally
Nah.
getting like the protection of like the president. Like they moved him. He moved to his safe house. Some high school girl, took a picture of him. They moved him like immediately the next day.
It wasn't the next day. It was within minutes and hours. Like, bro,
They're on point, bro. You're not fucking with the American government.
it's not even that. Like, who cares? Just who cares?
What do you mean? You brought it
You
up.
can't. No, I'm talking about we can't. Nipsey said this shit perfect. Like, we can't give that shit energy. Like, we can't give that shit real energy in the sense of.
There's nothing
Yeah,
productive
honestly,
coming out
reality,
of
we
it for the
shouldn't
black
be-
community.
We shouldn't be talking. We shouldn't be talking about it in general, like 6ix9ine, because it's not. There's nothing. There's nothing real to it. There's no substance.
You think
It's like, how do I put this? Back in the day, they used to get mad at Kim Kardashian because they was like, "Oh, bro, she don't got no real talent, bro." Like, and it's like, well, yeah, but at the end of the day, she's proven to be honestly kind of a good businesswoman. Like her and her mom, like they actually became very good businesswomen. We saw the transition. But I'm not saying that. I don't know if they have talent or not. I don't know what the talent is. I can't like say automatically, "Oh, that's the talent that they have." But at the end of the day, they kind of created a lane for everything from Instagram modeling to people having their own. They created a lot.
Kim and them are basically kind of some of the first social media stars, celebrities.
Some celebrities often, yeah. But they got their show too. But
You know that show's about to
She's
end.
the
Apparently, they said that they're about to have the last season or something.
what you said?
Word. She used to be Paris Hilton's what?
Yep.
Assistant?
Yeah.
So Charlamagne tells her story back in the day when she was still before she got on. Kim used to be at Wendy Williams' radio show every single day, trying to get on the radio with Wendy Williams, trying to get on. And like you said, she was Paris Hilton's closet assistant. She said, "One day, I'm gonna be bigger than Paris Hilton." She did was achieve her goals. She set out a goal, and she stuck to it, and she achieved it. She got everything she wanted.
Her mom looked at Ray J tape and she skyrocketed. She got new titties the next day.
Bro, yeah. I mean,
She married a basketball player, divorced him the same day.
Bro, that shit was weird. I remember when that shit happened. I was like, "Who is this guy?" And the nigga was garbage. He was just like a rebounder. Remember him? That's all he did was get boards.
you gotta just do what's his name?
What? Did his career end after that wedding?
No, he was still in the league. He was like a role player. He literally was just a rebounder. He was like a D+ on fucking 2K.
You act like that's a bad thing. You act like being a rebounder is a bad thing. Dennis Rodman got championships.
Yeah, but he wasn't Dennis
What are
Rodman.
you talking about? Okay, yeah, that's the best. I'm talking about the best rebounder probably of all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
So,
You can't compare the best rebounder all the time to some nigga Kim dated.
I'm just saying,
Some
you
random
gotta play
nigga.
your role. Everybody, everybody got to play their role for the team, right?
Wasn't he on the Nets?
Yeah, he was on Brooklyn.
He was.
He was like one of
Nets,
that
but
first
I cannot
Brooklyn
remember his
teams.
name for some reason.
Wow, good for him.
Him and Darren Williams. I cannot remember his name.
He must have that check fucking with Kim K.
How do you feel about Darren Williams' whole career falling off as soon as he went to Brooklyn, or as soon as he got traded from Utah? His whole career just fell off. That nigga was the truth when I was in middle school. His whole career just fell off.
Shit,
Who's this?
Darren Williams. He was a point guard back in. Well, I want to say back.
Bro, it wasn't even back in the day. It was like late 2000s.
But here's the thing: when I say back in the day, I'm saying before
Before
Steph Curry. No, before Steph, because Steph reinvented the game.
Before Steph, like 20 MVP stuff, or like before like he got drafted stuff. Because Steph wasn't need to change the game to like 2015, technically.
Before Steph changed the game. That's all I said. That's all I'm saying. Before Steph changed.
So I think you're right. I don't know if you want to go on this tangent, but I think you're right. Steph did change the game, and I don't think the basketball will ever be the same since. Because even if you just go look at the like LeBron when he was in Miami, the game was completely different when LeBron was in Miami. The game immediately changed as soon as Steph went crazy. It immediately changed. The whole league took notice.
You got 5 people to shoot.
And it was like, oh, yeah, okay, we're going with the 3-ball. You think it's weird how, like, the 3-ball just kind of, like, gradually got more and more integrated into the league? Now it's just, like, damn near the best shot you can take besides a layup or a dunk.
Unless you're LeBron.
Unless you're LeBron.
You got to take that 3.
Isn't that kind of weird? Just how it progressively just got...
I think what's weird now is I don't know if it's just really happened over like in my eyes or in my brain, but watching the game back then, watching old highlights of 2010 Kobe versus or 2000 whenever when Kobe was going against Boston, it's just weird watching that game compared to watching it now. It's just weird.
It's a completely different basketball game, and it's weird. It's really weird.
Real quick though, Breonna Taylor, we still fighting for you. We're gonna keep fighting for you. It's been 1 year since she was taken away from us, and also I think George Floyd's family actually just reached a settlement.
From small to triple XL, all inspired by Ambition gear at inspiredbyambitionpro.com. That's www.inspiredbyambitionpro.com.
With
They did.
Minnesota.
Was it like $27 million or something? It was like a civil lawsuit or something.
So they get that over like the next 18 years or something?
I don't know how it's broken down. They just said 27 mil.
Oh,
Wow.
his daughter. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. Like
It goes to the family or to his daughter?
I'm pretty sure to the family.
Okay.
It's
I think he
really
starts
crazy
his
to think
the
about.
trial soon too, like within a week or two.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
officer. Yeah.
Do you think America's going to change in our lifetime? Because I honestly don't believe it will.
Change how? What do you mean change? Because it's always changing.
You think America would be better in our lifetime from where we are now?
In what sense are you talking about?
How black people are treated.
You know, it's so crazy. Let me get into this real quick. We always talk about, and this sounds like something that cancel culture would come after me for. We always talk about how black people are treated in this country. I've recently started seeing how Asian people are treated in this country and perceived. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, like the stuff that they have to go through too.
Are you talking about recently or
See,
just in general?
But in general, but recently it's just out there a little bit more. You can see it a little bit more just because of social media and such. But it's so crazy to me that these groups don't just like understand that they make up America in a different light. Asians, black folk, natives, and Mexicans. They make up this country in the realtor tired in I don't know how to explain it. In culture form, definitely. But I don't know.
So I think I understand what you're trying to say.
As well. Our buying power as well. But it's so crazy how separated these groups are. I've seen black people treat Asian people crazy. I've seen Asian people kick black people out just because they're black. But I've also seen natives live on reservations, and we completely forget about them. Like in general, I don't want to say reservations. I don't think that's the right word.
Anyway, we know what you're talking about.
And then people get mad at Mexicans, and this is why I like YG's song where he's like, or YG and Nipsey was both like, bro, I fuck with Mexicans. Like what are you talking about? Bro, I had a teacher, a professor told me when I was in college, bro, Texas was theirs, man. Like Texas was theirs. Y'all just kicked them out of their home. They just trying to come home. Like that's like for real. Like you trying to kick them out. Like it's not just they're trying to get to America. They're trying to go home. Like and it to a certain extent. It's kind of crazy that these groups are still so separate. Because even when I was in Cali for a little bit, I had to do it. He was telling me that sometimes they don't Mexican or Spanish. I don't know.
Let's call him Hispanic.
Hispanic, yeah, my fault. He was like, bro, like yeah, sometimes we don't get along with some black people here. And he was telling me why. I was like, bro, I was like, dang, that's such a
Why?
That's such a small. I was drunk that night. I was drunk that night. But he was like, how we are out in the sense that we're out there and we're I don't know if this right word is hype. He used a specific word that when you're out in public and you see where you're just sometimes you bring too much attention to yourself. But at the
You
same
basically call
time,
black people loud.
to a certain extent, yes, to a certain extent. But at the same time,
Not courteous to others.
we built the country. We built the economic form of this country through slavery.
What does that have
To a
to do
certain
with
extent.
with his statement, though?
No. Listen to what I'm about to say. To a certain extent, you got the right to be a little bit loud when everybody listen to what I'm saying because that face is crazy. You have a government that's automatically. We already know about systemic racism, right? That's not going nowhere right now. Like you just asked if that was going to change. That's what you were trying to ask. Not only that, that can go in the corporate world or anything else. Then you got the actual fact of a racist white person actually messing with you. And then you have, let's say if you are in a public setting and you are the only black person, they could say something and you can't, like, as much as you want to get like crazy like back to them, sometimes you can't because you just feel like there's not like somebody there to back you up, right? So why can't you at some point when you're around your other group of people be a little bit more like, yeah, I am the shit. Why can't you do that?
Are you sure that's what he meant, Darren?
Now, I don't know exactly what he meant. I don't know. Once again, I was drunk. Now, if he's talking about they're loud and they getting disrespectful with you, totally different. Disrespect is something that nobody should take. Yeah. Period. Now, if he was talking about that, cool. I get it. But I'm just saying in that sense, I think those four groups really should band up and understand that we can't keep on tearing each other down. I can't talk bad about a Mexican, Asian, or Native. I can't do it. Y'all, they too close to me. They're too close to me in the sense of the struggle that we're gonna have to go to. People don't think that with Asians, but in a sense they kind of are. That's the way I look at it.
Asians were in internment camps in America.
Yeah, bro. And people don't understand. Like it's like they completely forget that that's the only time we've actually had that since slavery, I'm pretty sure, where you had like you force these people to live in a place and take away their land and stuff. That's not right, bro. And I don't get how we don't. I don't know if it's just because we're not taught that and we're only taught about the black struggle and then we're not even taught about that necessarily in school. So we got to find out.
Y'all didn't talk about that?
Then we become so much more pro-black. We do. Look, I'm talking about you don't really talk about it. It's a glimpse in the radar of complete all the history that you learn about.
I mean, there's a lot of history.
No, but when you're in school and you learn about American history, that is a glimpse on the radar.
I disagree. We spent a whole day on that shit.
I don't remember spending the whole day on that. I remember we talked about it, but we didn't.
Because that's like one of the only things. That's one of the biggest things I pulled about the whole Pearl Harbor thing. I thought that was fascinating as shit.
Xenophobia.
Yeah, they put them in the basically concentration camps, and when they eventually got out, they sold their farms to white people, and they weren't able to get their farms back.
And I don't understand how you don't.
But
I don't know.
I think
we just
I
all
want.
have
But
each
what I
other's
want to
backs.
hear, I want to hear somebody from like an older person that was like a part of Pearl Harbor. I want to know. I want to hear what like an older white person that was part of Pearl Harbor. I want to hear what they think about that. Not from like a right or wrong standpoint. I just want to just like hear what they think about that. What's going through their mind? Because you got to think Pearl Harbor scared the fuck out of this country. We literally weren't in the war until Pearl Harbor. That's when we should join the war, and we said, okay, we don't get this shit handled because
That's because in the first time we realized, oh, we're susceptible on our whole west side of the country. Like, think about buying this country, and then 100 years later, you'd be like, oh, snap. We got a Navy on the whole East Coast. We got the Carolinas taken care of. We got all this taken care of. But we don't got a whole side of the country taken care of. Our naval fleet is not enough over there. So I think, I don't know.
To go back on the last topic, when you look at pay scales in high-paying corporate jobs, it would go white men, Asian men, white women, then it will go black men, then it would go black and Asian women, if we're only using black, white, and Asian people. So Asian men are on the same corporate like level as white men. So more executive jobs, more VP jobs, more board.
But you got to
seats,
think though.
as opposed to black men, white women, Asian women.
Speaking about Asian people though, they have the thing about Asian people. They have positive stereotypes though. How many all black people stereotypes are 90% negative. Think about that.
Well, you have to understand, Asian people came here not that long ago, whereas most black people came here, and it wasn't very positive. So,
I mean, slavery compared to
coming over here,
huh?
Just coming over here.
Yeah, and even then, people forget that the Asians really helped build this country in the sense that they connect. The railroads. They connected the east to the west. So, and they got shit for that for no reason. I don't understand it. Like, for some reason, what I've realized is when sometimes Americans don't want to do the grunt work, like some of the grunt work, like the real shitty shit work, they look bad on the people who will do it, even if they're, well, in this case, coming in illegally sometimes, or even if you aren't coming in illegally, they'll still look at you like, oh, well, you're still below me, which is the weirdest thing in the world because it needs to be built and they're American. Just
I remember my teacher said, somebody needs to deliver my pizza. And I thought about that. It was like, yeah, somebody has to do it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So,
we're a consumer-focused culture.
Yeah, but
Same thing you're saying with culture, the cancel culture. Like, you're the consumer. If you're consuming, you either do or don't want it. So if you don't want to deal with that, cancel it.
But why do we look bad on people who's delivering?
Because people are entitled. People feel better.
That's the best word for it.
They watch 60 hours of the Kardashian.
That's the dumb.
They feel like they're a Kardashian.
Americans need to stop being entitled. That's
why the rest of the world hates us.
Yeah,
We're fat, lazy, and entitled pieces of shit.
and we still think about this. We're fat, lazy, and we're annoying pieces of shit, and we still think we're the baddest motherfuckers in the world at all times.
Because we got what?
I think America is the blackish. America is literally the definition of like black people, bro. Just our mentality and how we approach shit.
Whoa, hold up, wait a minute.
I don't know.
Nah,
We don't play with people,
black
bro.
people get Americanized.
We don't play with people. Oh, you think that's just being Americanized?
No. Okay,
That's interesting.
Yeah. Because I don't agree with that. I think black people, like you said, I think you said on the last podcast that we're some of the most loving people. I think that's truly in our nature. I think sometimes because we're put in like environments where you have to survive, that you actually start saying "fuck that loving nature" part of you to saying,
Survival.
"Look, yeah, survive. I'm gonna survive before I got it. Look. I will kill you and pray for you right after." That's the Western civilian, the Western black person. If you ask me, I will kill you and then pray for you. I'll pray for you before I have to kill you. But if you still come to me acting wrong, I got to do what I got to do.
I need mine first and second,
Yeah.
then you can have yours. That's how I feel about it.
Man. I don't know. Let's we got what else we got today? Something else happened. What happened? Rob, you had one more topic. What you got?
So if you guys were to have kids, or if you have kids already, when would you let them start social media? Like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all that shit.
Boy or girl?
Either. Do both.
Boy, I wouldn't care. Girl, we'd have to have a long talk about what these niggas want. And then you can have it high school.
That sounds about right.
You don't need it in middle school. High school.
I play high school, right? But yeah, freshman year.
Would it change for a female
And
or male for you? A boy or girl for you? Darren?
It wouldn't matter. If
Nah, because at the end of the day, you gotta understand. It don't matter male or female. At a young age, you about to get influenced by a whole internet thing, a whole different beast.
But unfortunately, in like especially middle school, like females grow faster than boys, so they get that influx of information. They get that image shit. Oh, I'm not pretty enough, and then they just see all these pretty people all the time. That's not good.
See, I can't. I'm gonna
Can't
be
do
honest with you. I'm gonna be a ruthless father.
Wow,
If that's the case, and I hate to say it, I would be like, look, I would say this just the way I think you're beautiful. But if you think you're never gonna be pretty enough, you're never gonna be. If you don't think you're pretty enough now, you're never going to be pretty enough. Like, don't try
Remind
to
me to
achieve
never take my daughter out.
it. Don't ever try to achieve it.
That sounds terrible.
Look,
That's
I know
terrible
that
thing to
sounds
tell my
terrible.
daughter.
It sounds terrible, but the reason why I
Oh
would
my
say that
God.
is because then you're going to be focusing on other people's perception of beauty.
Well, guess what,
Worry about your
Darren?
own.
That's how women work.
Look,
Trisha?
I'm talking to my daughter,
And she's gonna be a
middle school.
woman, and she's
Yes.
gonna go through that.
I absolutely
Just because you
get that.
say it doesn't mean she's gonna hear you. That means she's gonna think you're a dick and not want to talk about it no more.
Look,
This is me telling you.
that's exactly how I'm gonna word it. I
That's
think
from
you're
LA.
beautiful. I think you're beautiful, but if you don't think you're pretty enough now, don't try to continue to be pretty enough for somebody else. Be pretty enough for yourself. And at the point where you can look at yourself in the mirror and say that you're pretty, live with that. You don't got to go by other people's
She ain't gonna hear none of that shit till she's
Absolutely.
32.
She's 32 with 3
I'm trying
kids.
to tell you. Right. Then she'll be
She
like,
called
you know
Kevin
what?
Samuels. That shit funny as fuck.
Nah.
Daddy, you was right. These niggas ain't shit. Like, come on, bro. You gotta tell her right then and there.
So tell them when she come out the.
No. You gotta make sure you have the password. You know, we can do this, but there's rules because I know how this shit works. And you can hate me all you want, but when you're 18 and you graduated and you're not pregnant and you're still pretty, you'll thank me. There it is. Now, in high school, you got to keep an eye on your boys too because they'll fuck around.
Yeah.
So the rules themselves are the same, but
I think
the timing would be
But
different.
the thing is, you're also just influenced by it, though. You're
That's
influenced
what I
by
said.
social media.
That's what I would make it high school. At that point, you're influenced by everything. All your friends have phones. I can't hide it.
Yeah, sure.
Middle school, they might not, but,
I can see 8th grade me breaking.
8th grade, 9th grade.
Yeah.
8th grade, you can get your, that summer break. You can record it, share it with all your friends, go to high school, get that confidence. I'm cool with
But I
that.
would still have like crazy rules. Like, look, if I see you with it at dinner time, I'm
Oh, no, your phone's on the charger at 9:30,
yeah.
and I am going to give it to you in the morning.
Yeah.
You can have your little iPad, and you can FaceTime or whatever, but the Wi-Fi's off at 11, and you're going to sleep.
You turn the Wi-Fi off? That's smart.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. I got an Eero.
Yeah.
I got 2, in and out. I don't play this game.
Everybody goes to sleep.
Everybody's
goes to sleep. On the weekend, you can have
Yeah. Y'all can do whatever.
Man,
You can ask them. They be geek when I turn it in. I'm like, do we have internet? Oh my god.
That's funny.
That's life. That's life.
funny.
Yeah.
We take a lot of walks in this house.
Man, you better read a book.
Let me leave these kids alone, man.
Man, real quick though, these COVID, everybody's getting the shots and stuff. I know we talked about this a couple podcasts ago.
We did. I think it was the first.
Yo, if y'all don't got the shot yet, which I'm not telling you to do it or you don't do it, do what you want. But do what you want. You American, once again, do what you want. Listen, I would suggest getting it when you want to. That's great. But y'all stop gathering in these large crowds. Y'all acting a damn fool without masks. Like they just acting a damn fool. Like they got the shot. Like everybody else around them got the shot or some shit. It's like
They probably all had COVID already, and those are the ones who survived. So they said,
nah, because there's at least 20 people at the same gathering who did not get it and just still saying fuck it. I'm talking about those 20 people. No,
Like-
fuck that. Even if you got it, if you had it before, don't go in a crowd of a whole bunch of people. Now, I get it for the
I've
most
been
part.
to house parties. I've been to the bars.
I get that.
you know?
I get that. But them house parties that are like 100 people showing up.
There was
50
maybe
people.
50 people.
No, everything. Yeah, you just.
But what's if they have
I mean, I was in my corner, and I was doing what I was doing with my people, and we would mingle with groups. So it's like we migrate as a group, and like our group would go hang out with another group, and then that group would rotate to where we were.
All right, I feel
So-
you. I feel you. I'm just talking about people who are gathering in
Like going to Bonnaroo,
Yeah.
like that's not a thing, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Things are opening up. Just be smart, y'all. That's
Is
all I'm
church
saying.
still
Be
open?
smart.
Because church is a place.
That's interesting. I wonder.
You gotta
when they
watch
start
out.
having people. They said they're gonna start rolling it out for people for schools and stuff to start opening back up. So
Yeah,
we
teachers need that shot. That's crazy. They weren't the first ones.
gonna-
Were teachers not
they
the-
probably just got used to online for a
No,
while.
teachers. I need these kids to go back to school ASAP.
Everybody
go.
ready for that. That's crazy. Then you,
I'm gonna go
here's
get mine.
crazy. People gonna have to go back into the office. I wonder
That's
what that
fine.
transition's gonna be like.
I'm ready for the office.
I
I need a place to go.
I wonder. It's gonna be that one person that's like, look, man, I'm on edge today. I'm used to being at home. I'm used to eating my gushers. I'm used to having my water when I want to. And if you look at me wrong this morning, you might get slapped and I might lose it all.
That's why he's talking shit.
That's funny.
We support gushers here.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
All right, man.
You
Go
a
ahead.
hater.
We good for the week. Rob, go ahead, wrap us up, man.
All right. So thank you all for listening to the Purple Pill podcast. I'm your host, Robert, with my co-host, Darren and Alay. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Follow us on social media. All the links are down below. We appreciate you guys
Like,
listening to us
subscribe,
again.
all that stuff.
Thank you. What are you talking about?
I said like,
fucking up my
subscribe,
outro.
and all that good stuff.
Stop fucking up my outro. All right. Peace.
There you go. You want to play some blackjack?
Yeah, let's play some blackjack.